seen is Bitcoin's movement really be sort of tethered to what we see in the equity markets. In the long term, though, I expect that will change.
But in the meantime, though, you think this is evidence, really, that more professional investors are trading crypto assets like Bitcoin?
That's exactly right. And so in the second half of January, what we've seen specifically in the market is we've seen both positive and negative news for the Bitcoin price. So while supply is low, about 80% of Bitcoin are projected to be in the hands of long-term holders, demand is also lackluster. Now, most recently, we're seeing the accumulation of Bitcoin by whales, likely institutions, and we're also seeing net outflow of Bitcoin from exchanges. Neither of those activities, of course, are bearish.
But it's quite interesting. You think there are traditional long-only institutional investors that are buying these assets now? I mean, there's obviously a lot of aware that hedge funds are coming in. You think there are more traditional investors as well?
There certainly are. And that's catalyzed by not just Bitcoin the asset, but Bitcoin the technology. So for example, as a venture capitalist, something we saw from traditional market investors in late 2021 was a real excitement about Bitcoin's progression along its monetization cycle. What I mean by that is Bitcoin moving from being a store of value after having established itself there to maturing to become also a means of exchange. Lightning progressed in 2021 as Bitcoin's payment network hitting an inflection point, and that catalyzed a lot of interest, including from institutional investors.
As a VC, what are you looking for from specifically Bitcoin-related investments, as opposed to businesses that are powered by more blockchain technology more broadly?
Well, Bitcoin's unique because of the stability and security and decentralized nature of the network. And so what I expect to see in 2022 and what we're most excited about is Bitcoin as a means of payment. And so after hitting an inflection point in 2021 and de-risking the technology by sort of proving itself in El Salvador as a means of access to the Bitcoin network and global finance, Lightning is very well positioned to sort of help onboard a new wave of users to Bitcoin. And so that's where we're really paying attention. What will that look like? We're seeing social applications from the gaming sector, messaging, a really breadth of new utility integrate with Lightning. And those new users are not just driving growth for the apps themselves, but of course for Lightning Network. And it couldn't come at a better time because infrastructure that provides greater liquidity or ease of use on Lightning is also maturing. And so in 2022, I expect that the year for Bitcoin will be largely defined by that sort of behavior.
Alice, just to go back to something you said a moment ago, I mean, you referred to the holdings of whales, I mean, very big shareholders or big holders of Bitcoin. I mean, ownership of Bitcoin is still pretty concentrated, isn't it? Is that holding back wider adoption to an extent?
So Bitcoin in the past has largely been adopted by people seeking returns, speculators, folks wanting to hedge, including a hedge from inflation, and Bitcoin's quite good at that. But along with Lightning introducing Bitcoin for payments, you will see a wave of new entrants through earning and experimentation. And so, for instance, in El Salvador, when Bitcoin was introduced as legal tender in El Salvador, of course, was the first nation state to do so. That activity all happened through Lightning. 70% approximately of El Salvador's population was unbanked. And through Lightning in Q4, more than 3 million people began using or used Bitcoin. That's more people than were banked by the nation's banks. That's a new sort of population coming into Bitcoin, and for an entirely new reason. I spoke a second ago about looking for payments in the gaming space. That will also bring a new sort of user to Bitcoin. Now, earning happens not just through gaming or traditional work, but also through things like rewards, and we're seeing the proliferation of that as well. All of that brings a new demographic to Bitcoin, and I think presents a really bullish environment. And we know historically that as adoption increases, Bitcoin's price rises.
All right, Alice, we have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining me at such an unsociable hour. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live. We'll be having a look at how global markets are doing this Monday morning. Stay with us.
You know what? I just couldn't believe it. And the tower just fell. It came down, and I fell almost at the same time, just down to my knees. You know, at that moment, I knew that Charlie was gone.
For me, it was understanding the nature of grief, long-term grief, and specifically my own grief. Back in 2001, just a few months before 9/11, I lost my mum, and it was very sudden and very unexpected. And for a barely 22-year-old boy, it was incomprehensible that this wonderful, bubbly, constant present could just be gone. A cancer diagnosis one day and sadly gone within 48 hours. So when 9/11 happened, that struck a powerful chord with me. I felt, rightly or wrongly, that I shared a kinship with the families of those victims. We had both been through something. The booth was created by Ruth Sergel, as you said, this incredible New York artist, very compassionate, very caring, and just very in tune with people's feelings. He just intuitively understood in the wake of such a tragedy that people needed an outlet. People needed to tell their own story in their own words, because without that, there's real damage that could be done to people. Being inspired by their story initially, we had to catch up with them. We had to know how their story panned out. So along with my co-director, David Belton, we recreated the box with Ruth's permission, and we recreated the essence. We gave people control of their own story. They could physically press a button, take control of their story. And it was remarkable and inspiring to see how they've moved on in 20 years.
Well, Wall Street's rally on Friday evening ensured the last trading session of January was largely a positive one for stocks in the Asia-Pacific region overnight. Tokyo and Hong Kong both finished ahead by 1%, while there were only modest reverses in Shanghai and in Sydney. Here's a picture in Europe right now. We're getting a bit ahead of ourselves there. Yeah, Shanghai actually off by slightly more than expected. In Europe, things pretty positive there. All of the main indices up right now. The MIB in Milan ahead by 1%. That's after Mattarella was confirmed for another term as president. Here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in positive territory. Look at that. Barely changed, is it? It was up earlier on. Pretty broad-based rally going on. Vodafone is the leading blue chip gainer, currently ahead some 2.5%. That's on news that the activist investor Cevian Capital has taken a stake in the business and is pressing for change. Another one to mention is Airtel Africa. That's joined the index today following the reorganisation of Shell's dual share structure, which has freed up a space. Its shares are ahead by 2.5% right now. Outside the FTSE, the S3 Capital, that's the recruitment firm, its shares are ahead by nearly 9% after its annual profits nearly doubled. Watches of Switzerland is also ahead by some 2% after one of the big industry players, Hublot, announced price increases. On the foreign exchange markets, as you can see, the pound is firmer today on anticipation of another interest rate rise this week, currently ahead by 0.25% against the US dollar and up by 0.1% right now against the euro. As for the oil price, well, that remains close to its 7-year high as concerns over supply tightness continue to dominate sentiment. A barrel of Brent crude right now is trading at $90.78 a barrel. That is up just under 0.9%. Well, with me now is Paul Leach. He's co-head of global equities at Barclays. Paul, welcome to you. Obviously a pretty tumultuous week last week with the Federal Reserve's comments and despite some pretty good results from the tech stocks as well.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting first month of the year for global equity markets, and as you say, particularly with the price action in the US, as the market is absorbing the new central bank outlook and, looking very much to the Fed last week. One of the standout themes really has been the rotation away from the growth stocks, particularly in the technology sector, which has been a really dominant theme over the course of the month. And as you say, particularly in the US, and led to a lot of the volatility, particularly on an intraday basis, that we observed last week.
Now, Paul, we saw a rotation like this at various points last year as people assumed that there was tightening coming from central banks around the world. It kind of faded away. Do you think this time the rotation is going to be more permanent, if you like?
Yeah, I think so. Particularly if you look, say, for example, at the NASDAQ 100, which is very much a technology-based index, that is on track to record its worst monthly performance since the global financial crisis in 2008. It's currently down 11.5% of the month. If you contrast that, for example, to the FTSE, and you look at the FTSE, which is much more defensive in nature in terms of the FTSE 100 construction, and you look at the FTSE price performance, that's on track to finish higher over the course of this month. So this is the most pronounced that we have seen in terms of price action of that value versus growth rotation trade.
I mean, it's quite ironic, isn't it? I mean, there's been a lot of despair about the FTSE 100's make-up year. We had Paul Marshall, well-known fund manager, calling it Jurassic Park last year. I mean, this, on the basis of what you're saying, this could be a period in which the FTSE outperforms some of its continental European peers.
Yeah, I think so. Look, we have to put it in a longer-term context as well. If you look at, the FTSE underperformed last year, so it is consistent that it is not getting punished as much on this rotation trade as we go into this year. So that definitely makes sense. Obviously, we've got the Bank of England rate decision this Thursday. I think in terms of again what that means for the FTSE, there's a bit more certainty around that. The rate hike is pretty much priced in for this week. The market is expecting that. So, I think a lot of what we've seen over the course of January is the markets, equity markets globally just readjusting to this new central bank cycle that we are in globally, which is a very significant change over what we've seen for the last number of years.
All right, Paul, we have to leave it there. Very good to talk to you this morning. Hopefully see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Still to come here on In King Live, I'll be speaking with the Chief Executive of Paul Vere about the filtration company's results. Don't go away.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
To send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world in a just. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Body is your ma. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. We don't go nowhere. UK, London. We call them London for home. For here, we call them London.
Hi there, this is CJ, your life coach. Blessed. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you're listening to Star Radio UK.
On your smartphone.
All around the world.
The best radio show.
This is Star Radio UK.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Okay, massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you on other planets as well, we want to salute you all and welcome you to the Monday edition of the morning show. Today is the last day of January, the year 2022. That is the 31st of January, the year 2022. With the time now, 10:42 from the House of London, Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So let me say good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davids, Mr. Olaimi Koiki, Kojo D, HRH Linda Pallien, Felix all the way in Aberdeen, and to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy as well. Massive good morning to you, and to all presenters on Star Radio UK. I want to salute you all and say happy good morning to you and a good day. Something playing from in the background from the Joyful Way Incorporated. The goodness of God, the goodness of God. I think you and I can attest to it. God has been good unto us, hasn't He? To our listeners in the US, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, those of you on the African continent, we want to salute you all. And let me say it once again, all protocol observed. But I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Okay, so from now to 1 o'clock, this is how the program is going to go for you on the Monday edition of the morning show. If it's your first time of tuning in to listen to us, I'm going to bring you the quote for the day. The weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. Then after that, we'll move on and have a look at some of the stories making the rounds, as I've termed it, the global trotting. Then after that, we'll be looking at some of the details of the story that has made the rounds across the globe, the details of them as well. In the course of the program, I'll be having Mr. Frank Davis, Kojo D, and all the team joining in. But I'm exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions. But before then, if you want to do so, you can post your comments on our Facebook page. And I promise you, I'm going to read that. Then after that, at 12:45 exactly, they bring the first part of the conversation to an end, and we'll go all the way to Cyprus, where our own lady, HRH Linda Pallien, will be to join us on Career 101. Then after that, we'll bring the end to the program. So, in a gist, that is what is going to be happening today. Once again, welcome to the show. Get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate. And if you are sitting, sit very comfortably. If you are standing, hold on to something. And let's go on this journey. Welcome once again to the show. The quote for the day says, change, commitment to personal growth, competence and character are necessary if you must give birth to your dreams, vision and ideas. Change, commitment to personal growth, competence and character are necessary if you must give birth to your dreams, visions and ideas. Which of them are you ready to do? And let me say massive good morning to the man of God, Pastor Emmanuel Chidi. Man of God, God has been good, hasn't He? For the first 31 days, He's kept us. And though there are troubles all around, yet He's been able to keep us as well. Okie dokie do. 10:46. When it comes to the weather front, well, those of us, those of you living in the northern part of the UK, namely Scotland and all that bit, the weekend wasn't a good one there. But Felix, I hope you are doing very, very well. And all the Aberdeenians and all my Scottish listeners. So let me tell you what is happening today for London and the southeast of England. Well, we had a bit of a slap on the wrist, you know. It's not been bad here at all. Let me put it that way. Well, this afternoon will be bright with plenty of sunny spells, but it will be windy and cooler. Later in the day, cloud will gradually build in, but it will continue dry. And this evening, we will see clouds continue to increase overnight. A few showers or spell of rain will move in from the west. It will continue breezy. Total temperature is going to be 9 degrees. The lower is going to be 4 degrees. Sunset is going to be at 16:48 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:41 hours. UV level low, pollution low there as well. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast. Just bear with me. Let's take a quick break. We come back and I promise you, after the global trotting, I'll be bringing you the full music there, so you can also give thanks and praise to the Almighty God who has kept you as well. Why not?
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check it out.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Well, keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. I promise I'll be on the Star Radio UK travel update that comes to you every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:48. But what is your travels like this morning? Well, on the underground, apart from the Northern Line that has got planned closures, all the others have got good service. As you know, on the Northern Line until mid-May, no service between Moorgate and Kennington due to major upgrade works. London buses route 733 will operate between Moorgate and over via Bank. So keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. On the DLR as well, Dockland Light Railway, a reduced service is operating between Bank, Tower Gateway and Canning Town due to power supply problems. Woolwich Arsenal services are operating to Mansfield and Stratford International. Good service on all other DLR routes. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads as we keep you navigated.
Check it out.
Now moving on straight to the other TFL Rail TFL Rail London Tramlink and London Overground of all got good service there. Now on the river bus this morning, once again, apart from the Woolwich Railway that's suspended, all the others have got good service. Now let's move on straight to the National Rail. On the National Rail this morning, Cross Country has got special service East Midlands Railway, special service First Transpennine Express, special service Great Anglia, special service London North Eastern Railway, special service Northern Rail, special service and South Western Railway, special service there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep you navigated. I promise, our board. Now let's move on straight to the final segment of the travel update. That's the major roads in London. Now on the major roads in London, A10 has got closures, A316 closures, A4 closures, A40 closures, A41 closures, and Central London Red Routes closures there as well. And as I would say all the time, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bring it at time now to 8 minutes to the top of the hour. And it is the Monday edition of the morning show. Once again, I am Archie. As well, just stay with me. Don't you go away. It's now time for us to go global trotting. As I've said, I promised I'm going to bring you all the best and some music and everything that you need to know, even as we've come to the end, virtually the end of the first month. Yeah, today is the last day of the first month. So the 31st day of January, the year 2022. This month you will never see it again. You will never meet it again. Somebody say another January will come, but it will not be the same as this January that you've seen. Yeah. Well, so live life to the fullest. Make sure that whatever decisions that you are making is the right one, and get on with your life. Okay. Make hay while the sun shines. All right then. But remember, there is accountability. What about that? Okay, that is quite true there. Okay, so now let's crack on. Well, there was this threat to have NHS staff mandatory job, but government may U-turn on mandatory NHS staff jobs. Now, ministers will meet later to decide whether to keep the policy for England as a vaccine deadline looms. Now, interestingly, there is this issue where they are talking about the fact that they are not going to allow the nurses or the NHS staff who have not been vaccinated to continue to work after a set date that have been set. Now, as the date looms, it looks like government is looking at the number of nurses or health workers that are going to be losing, and therefore think that maybe a U-turn might be or could be the way forward. But we'll see, we'll follow closely, and as and when there are any information about that, we will bring in that your way. Now, woman's conviction for gang rape lie overturned. The woman's appeal against her public mischief conviction is overturned at the Cypriot Supreme Court. As one of the stories making the rounds. EU laws overhaul will boost growth, vows Johnson. The Prime Minister says it will boost investment, but devolved nations are unhappy with the move. We'll bring you more details on that. And Brentford signed Eriksen on 6 months deal. Now Brentford have signed the former Tottenham and Inter Milan midfielder Christian Eriksen on a 6-month deal. And a very sad story there. I don't like to see mankind being caught up in such issues, but we hope and keep fingers crossed that, well, it will be exonerated. Man United Mason Greenwood have been arrested over a rape claim. A fairer deal promised for delayed domestic flights. Under new plans, travelers could claim for delays of more than an hour, down from 3 hours currently. Well, it is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK. And then free bus travel for under 22s begins in Scotland. Yeah, so if you are in Scotland and you are under 22, remember, you're also going to be enjoying what we're enjoying here in London. The youth. So when you get to the age where they have to now start paying for their travels on the bus, then they go, oh, yeah. You want to be matured. You want to be counted. Yes. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Thousands without power after weekend storm. Now, suppliers try to restore power after storms Malik and Corey hit Scotland and Northern England. Malik, good morning to you wherever you are. Please don't hit the people too hard. Mr. Malik Dramani Mahama, let me say massive good morning to you. Malik is in London. He's not in Scotland. Okay, let's move on to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world as we're looking at updates from Global Trotting. North Korea releases space photos taken from missile. The unusual pictures were allegedly taken from its most powerful missile launch in 5 years. Wow, people are hungry, but the leadership is thinking that we need to explore. And they are when it comes to space exploration and arming themselves to, upping up their game when it comes to arms and ammunition. I think they've done it. Let's give credit to those who credit is due them. Well, they've done it. But I'll be bringing you more story on that. Joe Rogan pledges to try harder after Spotify row. The podcaster supports the streaming giants move to add warnings to podcasts discussing COVID-19. And a manhunt after German police officer shot dead. 2 officers were killed earlier on today during a routine traffic stop in Western Germany. And a New Zealand response to pregnant a reporter held by Taliban. New Zealand defended its border controls after Charlotte Bailey's went public with her story. Yes, this morning I watched her interview, and it's a sad one. Well, there could be an exemption. This person is pregnant. It's in a war-torn country. Why can't you receive the person and quarantine, cause the person to be quarantined? Well, we'll be telling you more about the response of the New Zealanders. Okay. Well, the story about this fight that is looming, or this war that seems to be looming pertaining to Russia and Ukraine. Well, in the trenches, Ukraine troops say, we are ready. How ready are they? Well, if Russia unleashes its venom, do you think, Ukraine can stand? After all, the Ukrainian leader, the president said, no, there's nothing happening. Nothing, Russia is just doing that. Nothing will happen. Is it just being taken for a mug or what? Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Chaos in Ottawa after second day of protests. Now, trackers block streets around Parliament in the second day of protests against a vaccine mandate. A U.S. East Coast hit with blizzards in heavy snowstorm. The storm dumps feet of snow with high winds and flooding, leaving tens of thousands without power. Well, still Starr Radio UK. Well, another sad story there. Another black person, Chris Brown, has been accused of a 2020 rape on a Miami yacht. The singer is being sued for $20 million over the alleged assault in Miami in 2020. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now in Portugal, the Portuguese Socialist Party has won and win unexpected majority. A snap election was called after Prime Minister Antonio Costa's budget failed to pass, and the Socialist Party has won a majority. We'll be looking into that in a moment. Then Bloody Sunday victims remembered 50 years on. It's one of the stories that is making the rounds as well. Now, China media freedom declining at breakneck speed. Now, foreign journalists in China are facing physical assault, hacking, and trolling, according to a report. And then India Parliament opens amid row over Pegasus lies. Now, fresh allegations have emerged that India bought spyware from Israel as part of a defense deal. True or false? Or can we say fake news? Whichever is appropriate. But it is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. A minute after 11 the time, and final segment of the updates are the global trotting. Rwanda-Uganda opens border after 3 years. I did announce that last Friday. The border has been opened now. And then ECOWAS and UN teams to assess Burkina Faso. The joint team will hold talks with the military junta and other Burkinabe actors. We'll see what happens from there. And Mali explains why tensions with France are growing. The foreign minister Abdoulaye Diop says the French believe Mali is not acting in their interest. Oh, you are? Did I say more? Well, and Senegal move into AFCON semi-finals is other stories making the rounds there as well. A very sad story. The storms costing lives and livelihoods in Malawi. The South African the southern part of Africa's storm that has taken place is causing all this havoc there. But we'll be bringing you more on that front. It is all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Still on the African continent, Malawi's president has warned against corruption. We'll be telling you more on that. And Egypt wins against Morocco to challenge Cameroon in semi-finals. Those are some of the stories making the rounds on the African continent. When it comes to Nigeria, a 20-year-old hacked to death in her parents' house. Now, what happened? Who did that? We'll be bringing you more on that. African Union suspends Burkina Faso after coup is one of the stories making the rounds or making the headlines in Nigeria as well. And then focus on issues, refrain from negative utterances. Timmy Frank advises PDP presidential candidate. Now, replicate Operation Omaticon in Kogi, Ghana, but we have the president saying that, well, he doesn't think that there should be a separate security for states. So it's the federal government that has to run the security. But if whatever they are doing is not reaching the grounds where it's supposed to, then what do you think? Do you think that there's still the need for state police to be formed? Well, this and a lot more going to be coming your way from Nigeria as well. Now moving on straight to Ghana as well. Bold business on state capture. Bryce Simon's reaction to McDonald's private jet terminal brouhaha. Yeah, it's been going on. Some are saying, well, what is all that? And it's that private jet section of the Kotoka International Airport. Is it that they're just handing it over to a private entity who is like going to be running his own thing there? Or is it the one who invested, or did they sell that bit out for him or to him? Well, we'll bring you more on that front. It's all going to be coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, Ghana is divided. You are to govern and unite the country. Citizen Kofi tells the president, and forcefully passing e-levy is a recipe for a coup. Oh, I think this man wants trouble. Who is saying that? Dr. Saad Idrisu. Okay, we'll see what happens on that front. I'll be bringing you more details of that in a moment, but for now, some more stories making the rounds there in Ghana. As I said, Hawkins posture of majority. Okay, that's fuel prices to go up 0.25p pesos, okay, per liter from February 1st. So from tomorrow, that's what they're going to be seeing. And then Hawkins posture of majority must be relegated to the background. Ransford Jempo says e-levy, so-called experts having presented enough proof that Ghanaians need to pay that. What do you think about all that? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Apparently, they decided that now they're going to bring it to what? 1.5. 1.5, you get it. 150, 1 Ghana, 50 pesos. Okay, from every 100, 1.5. So minority rejects reduction of e-levy to 1.5. The minority in Parliament has rejected a reduction of the electronic transaction levy to 1.5% from 1.75%. The latest reduction was tabled during consultation with the minority on Friday after Thursday's chit chat that went on there. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. And it is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Mahama receives UK's Commonwealth parliamentarians as well. Those are some of the stories. Disaster coming if e-levy is not passed. That is what Uvriata is saying. Well, you know, interestingly, when the MPP was were vying for power, I remember they go for the campaigns and they say, "Boys are brave," and that if the NDC government and the Mahama-led government at the time they didn't have the men, yeah, they should get out, they should call them in, and now they who had the men came in, and what do we see? He's saying that if we don't have e-levy, passed. Disaster, Armageddon, end of the world is going to be coming for Ghanaians. Well, So has the government failed in their ploy to make sure they cause the economy of the country to grow and protect the purse, the national purse? What do you think about all that? We'll be bringing you more on that front in a moment. But for now, let's go. Go the goodness of God by the Joyful Way Incorporated. Enjoy this, and I'll be with you. Stay tuned.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have
SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com. Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from Sendwave.
Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now exactly to 11:21. And it is the Monday edition of the morning show. And let me take this opportunity to say massive good morning to my lovely sister all the way in Ghana, Charity, and to Solo, your wonderful husband, and to the family back there. Yes, all the Dansumanians. Yes. Regards to every one of them, and especially to my mom, Maros. Good morning to you. Okay. Now let's go look at some of the details of some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. Yeah. Now, so here in the UK, it is all unraveling once again. Are we going to be seeing the government doing a U-turn when it comes to the compulsory NHS staff jobs? Or are they going to just dare them and then lose tens of thousands of staff or NHS workers? Well, ministers will meet later to decide whether or not to scrap mandatory COVID vaccines for NHS staff in England. Now, frontline NHS workers in England must be fully vaccinated by the 1st of April, meaning they need a first dose by Thursday. Now, if they are not jabbed by April, they will be redeployed or dismissed. Around 77,000 have had no jab at all. Now, last week, Health Secretary Sajid Javid said the jabs requirement was being kept under review, but that it was the duty of NHS staff to get vaccinated. The policy was proposed when Delta was the dominant variant that was circulating, and evidence showed being vaccinated significantly cut the risk of catching and spreading the virus. But it's the case where you know that with the Omicron, I've known people who have caught it about 3 times. They got it, they went out of it, and then the next moment they got it again, and then the next moment they got out of it, and then you couldn't tell whether they were in there or even out. So now with that, we've seen different variants coming in, whether you are vaccinated. I'm talking about people who are vaccinated. That's what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about unvaccinated. I'm talking about people who are vaccinated who get infected and reinfected. So do you think that we have to turn, or that policy, there should be a U-turn on that policy, making it mandatory for people for workers, NHS frontline staff to be vaccinated? Well, since then, a more contagious and slightly milder variant called Omicron has emerged. It has led to an increase in breakthrough infections among people who are vaccinated, although the jabs are still doing a great job at preventing severe cases. Mrs. Javid said the Health and Social Care Select Committee on Tuesday that it was right to reflect on the policy now Omicron was dominant, but it's understood no final decisions have been made. The government has been under pressure from some within the health service to scrap the mandate, arguing that it will lead to a staffing crisis. Now, the Royal College of Midwives warned the policy could have a catastrophic impact on maternity services, while the Royal College of GPs and Royal College of Nursing called for the deadline to be delayed. But the Department of Health and Social Care has previously insisted the policy was the right thing to do to protect patients. The UK Health Security Agency says vaccines have proven to be effective against hospitalization, mortality, infection, and transmission. Now, several studies have provided evidence that vaccines are effective at preventing infection, a recent report has said. Uninfected individuals cannot transmit. Therefore, the vaccines are also effective at preventing transmission. Now, Chief Secretary to the Treasury Simon Clark said that while any change to the policy will be a decision for the health secretary, he said fundamental facts had changed due to Omicron, and so any decisions will take that into account. So are we going to see a U-turn, which is more plausible? I mean, yeah, because it's just this is what is happening, and people getting infected, and getting reinfected, though they've been fully vaccinated. Though hospitalization and serious ailment has gone down because of the vaccination. But I know some people too who had not been vaccinated. They got the Omicron and similar. But well, somebody say if you have underlying health condition, then you have to make sure that you take the vaccine. So, do you think the government should do a U-turn, or do you think they should just get on? It's a policy. You do it or you get out of it, so that the government will not be like being too weak, or because the government have been caught in having their own, or prime minister has been caught in having their own parties, and therefore, well, breaking news. Boris Johnson handed result of Sue Gray's report into Downing Street parties ahead of expected public release today. He's been handed the result of Sue Gray's inquiry. It's going to be published today, but we'll make sure that once we have any details of it, whilst we are on air, we will bring it to the fore. It is All Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So moving on to some stories here in the UK. A British woman who reported being gang raped in Cyprus has had her conviction for allegedly lying about her attack overturned. The woman, then 19, told the Cypriot police she had been raped by a group of 12 Israeli men in Aya Napa in July 2019. The Derbyshire teenager retracted the allegation after being held without a lawyer and was then tried and convicted of causing public mischief. Her conviction was overturned at the country's Supreme Court. The woman's case had outraged women's rights campaigners who gathered outside court ahead of a decision being handed down today. The woman had not had to serve her original 4-month sentence in prison, as it had been suspended by the judge. However, barrister Michael Pollack from Justice Abroad said she had wanted to get the conviction overturned in order to clear her name. The woman's family now want the original rape allegation she made to be investigated in order for her to get the true justice. But somebody will say it's going to be her words against them. 12 Israeli guys, young men who have gone on that path. What do you think is going to happen there? Well, it is All Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say good morning to Mr. Joseph Arthur. Good morning to you. And Yusuf Savate. Hello and good morning to you, Yusuf. Where are you listening to us from? It would be nice to know so we can acknowledge that as well. Okay, still coming your way from Star Radio UK. Now, over the weekend, as I said earlier on, the weather has not been a good one when it comes to the northern part of the country, though those of us in the south are still having some bashing or battering by the high winds. All right, thousands of households are still without power in Scotland and northeastern England after 2 storms hit the UK at the weekend. Now, storms Malik and Corey left around 40,000 homes in Scotland and 7,000 in northern England without power. On Saturday, 2 people were killed by falling trees, a boy in Stratfordshire and a woman in Aberdeen. That's why I said, my brother Felix, get in touch. Let's know that you are doing very, very well there. We hope so. Now, several schools in Aberdeenshire said they will shut or delay opening on Monday due to power and heating issues, and there is major disruption to rail services between Edinburgh and Newcastle, with a line closed on Monday morning. Now, much of Scotland, Northern Ireland and parts of Northern England are under yellow Met Office warning for winds. Now, gusts of up to 92 miles per hour were recorded on Sunday night at the Stoneway in the Western Isles. Okay, we'll try to get in touch with Felix, please, if you're okay. We just want to know if you're safe, so you can just text us, yeah, just for us to know that you are doing well, as Aberdeen has had some battering or bashing by this storm Malik. So Malik left London and went to bash the people in no, it's not Malik. Malik is still in England. Please, he's in London. I'm just joking. Nobody should go attack him. All right, then. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, airlines may pay out for 1 hour UK flight delays. Yeah. Earlier on it was 3 hours, but now airline passengers on UK domestic flights are being promised a fairer and simpler compensation process for delays and the proposals announced on Monday. The new rules will remain. Travelers could claim for delays of more than an hour, whereas currently they have to have been held up for over 3 hours. The plans will replace EU compensation rules the UK retained after Brexit. Now, Transport Secretary Grant Sharp said the proposal aimed to bolster airline consumer protection and rights. The currently domestic passengers on flights shorter than 1,500 kilometers or 932 miles can claim 220 for delays, £220 for delays of more than 3 hours, but nothing for shorter wait. But the government says that as a result of power gained after Brexit, Brexit power, it could replace this system with a model similar to the one used by rail and ferry operators, which links compensation to the cost of travel. And the new plan, which is under consultation, passengers will be entitled to 25% of the ticket price for a delay for more than an hour but less than 2 hours. Now 50% of the ticket price for a delay of more than 2 hours but less than 3 hours, and then 100% of the ticket's price for a delay of more than 3 hours. Well, I think this one will cause the airlines to also set up and do the right thing. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, the breaking news that I brought you, let me reiterate it quickly, and then I will bring my colleague Mr. Frank Davis, who is also in the house, on, and then we can continue with the show. Now, Boris Johnson has been handed Sue Gray's report into Downing Street practice ahead of its expected release later. The civil servant inquiry has been looking into alleged practice in number 10 and other government buildings during the COVID restriction. It is unclear what exactly it will cover after police asked for minimal reference to events it is investigating. Well, it is the breaking news. As and when we have more of it, I promise to bring your way. It is now 11:33. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. With me in the studio, I've got Mr. Frank Davis. And let me say, Frank, good morning to you.
Archie, good morning, and good morning to our listeners. Let me say good morning to Caroline. She's not feeling well, so Caroline, wherever you are, say good morning to you. Our sister Gina, I hope you've had your 4th dose. They
are in a comfortable position.
They are in a comfortable lead. You know, over the weekend, I was feeling a bit feverish. I was like, this is I quickly went and did my
oh, you are saying that?
I had to go and do my lateral flow. I did a test. I said, is this sure? I did the second one.
Oh,
to be double sure.
I did the same thing Friday. God, I don't know. I think I'm not feeling well. I did something wrong. Did a test. I said I took one from one batch. I said, no, it's negative. I said, no. I'm still feeling. I'm even have some sore throat. Let me go and do another one. So negative. I said, okay. Then Saturday morning, I woke up. I did another one.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to because the virus is still moving. The virus. So for those of you who have not had your vaccines yet and want to have it, please do go and have it. Although it's not compulsory now, but we are urging you. If you don't have a good immune system, go and boost your immune system.
But looking at that, just hopping on straight to one of the stories about the government possibility that they might do a U-turn when it comes to the NHS.
Actually, they have to do it. Look, as we speak now, the care industry is short of staff. Over 100,000 staff are needed. The doctors, we need almost 80,000 doctors and nurses. That is the minimum that you talk of. Now, on a weekly basis, there are people retiring. on a weekly basis. There are doctors and nurses that are going on retirement. On a weekly basis, we also need GPs to be expanding because population is expanding. Are you getting me? Now, how are you going to manage all that and decide that you are sacking about 80,000 doctors and nurses? And it's even worse when they come to the ambulance sector. There are a lot of ambulance drivers have not vaccinated. But these are the people who interface with the patient. So are you going to sack them and let's see the system will come to the road? I say these are threats that but it's not going to work. I think the impact on the industry will be more than. And do not forget that these are doctors that were working when we did not have a vaccine. Sacrificing their lives when we didn't have a vaccine. Right? Now that we have a vaccine, herd immunity is about 70%, and now we have 86% of the population vaccinated. The first theory that they wanted us to go for, which was herd immunity, I mean, we could have 75% would have got it, and nobody would have been bothered again, right? So if we've got 86%, now we got almost 40 million who have got the lives of Sister Gina have got a fourth vaccine, fourth dose. What does you want to worry? I mean, the rest, you know, they have to actually. If not, the system. I mean, it will happen that when those who are vaccinated and who will be left, they will be overworked. So you're going to see them again, mental illness coming in, because if one person is supposed to take care of A, B, C, this thing, then they are going to overwork. And within the nursing industry, I mean, nurses will tell you there are regulations. If you are on a ward, there's a number of, I mean, there's a maximum number of patients that you have to look at. So if you get there and the number is more than that, no one is going to tell you the law has changed and therefore if anything happens you will be saved. No. If anything happens, I have a friend who goes if it's too much more than, you have to authorize her boss has to authorize her and undertake signing that I've authorized to. If not, she will not work. Because she tell Frank, you do anything silly, your license will be gone. You do anything silly, your license will be gone. And this is what the regulations say. I do not care whether they are patients or not. Yes, I sympathize with them. I sometimes say I come home and cry, but I will not risk, because at the end of the day I'll be prosecuted. Once all I tried doing was to genuinely help. You know.
Was it sometime last week or thereabout? I think one of the ladies that we know, and she's now just past the nursing thing, and she's now working, and she said the ward was like so busy, so she's not supposed to be working on her own.
That's it.
But this is a situation where she had to be looking at some patient on her own because they were short staffed.
So what does
she just imagine if
anything happen over that? Do you know what will happen? They're not going to look at that at the fact that the system was down and all you were doing was trying to help. They will prosecute you and tell you your laws, the law says it, the laws, who did you call, and other things. So my friend says no, I wouldn't do it because her friend did similar thing. Nearly, she had to spend money on lawyers and other thing. Nearly lost her license. So I don't see how they're going to go and say, okay, you've not vaccinated and therefore go and stay home. Then get a, I mean, what do you call it? A hospital, unvaccinated patient and doctors.
Oh, that would be good.
That's the way. So if you go, this word is for doctors, unvaccinated patients, and vaccinated doctors. So you can dedicate a ward. Every hospital must have a ward. Unvaccinated patients, unvaccinated
doctors. If you want to kill yourself.
You get mixed up with
Well, I think that the vulnerable, I mean, those who have got underlying issues, those ones should be, I mean, encouraged. To take it, because you don't know exactly how it might play with your system. But those who are able, I mean, just let them be. Let them be. Well, as we said, we will advise you if you need to, if you have to, go on and go get it. Okay? Yes, we want to encourage you to do it, but it shouldn't be made mandatory as other countries have done. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. The breaking news that I did talk about. To Grace, report seem to have been the watered down. Let me call it the watered down report of Shigre has been handed to Boris.
We don't know whether it's watered down, Archie.
The police say they shouldn't. There are some that they need to be. Silent on.
I mean that for me was bad because at the end of the day, now people would think that the police inquiry, like the way they were suggesting, was actually instituted to basically drag the issue and then water down the anger and then release the report in such a way that what they call one comes. The anger are dose off a little because on a daily basis the whip are working up and down, trying to one at a time, trying to win people to their side. So if that is the case, actually a lot of people, well, the opposition are not going to rest.
No, they're not.
Theresa May last week made a comment which is very, very strong comment. Say, look, people who make the law must obey it, and that's the fundamental principle in government. So people like that, do not forget the way they toppled her.
Oh,
they are those
for them, you know.
Yeah, they are those. Davis and the likes. I don't think they're going to allow some of this to go unanswered. You know.
Well, listeners, what do you think there? It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Grace report is in. Well, it will be interesting come Wednesday on the Prime Minister's question time.
It must be published today.
It's going to be published today.
Let's hope.
Yeah, that's what they said. Let's hope that it's done. Okay. Now let's move on to other parts of the world and look at some of the other stories making the rounds there as well. And the first one coming from we're talking about vaccination and there is a chaos that is going on in Ottawa at the moment. There's the trackers caused chaos in Ottawa after second day of protest. And what protest is it? Protesters against vaccine mandate for trackers crossing the US to Canada border have brought Canada's capital to a standstill for a second day. Now thousands of demonstrators joined the so-called Freedom Convoy in Ottawa. Now these countries, they are, should I call them liberal countries? The Western countries who have taken that stand that look, behaving as if they are China or North Korea, saying that this is what we want you to do and you have to do it. They taking this mandatory stance pertaining to that. What do you think is happening
now? Actually, you see, I think the way the governments have responded to this vaccination thing, for me, it's not the best. Prior to the vaccination, when this COVID started, we had a lot of people started theorizing about all kind of funded theories for the 5G, whatever, and all kind of stuff. To a point where we even had people over here asking whether the masks on our building here are 5G because their children actually schooled within the compound over here. And these are genuine concerns. These are genuine concerns, actually. Now, when it gets to a point where a government begin to invade your privacy, that is how it feels. That they're now determining for you who you should be. Questions are there about how it interferes with your system and other things. They are not concentrating on answering those questions. All they are telling us is that, well, it's for public good. In this country, they're using NHS. If we don't vaccinate, NHS will collapse. NHS. Okay, then sign me off NHS. Sign me off NHS. Okay. You can tell you sign me off NHS or tell me if I come
for private,
or if I come there, I have to prove that I am not COVID patient or I'm not. I have not gotten COVID before I can sell the service, and people are ready to do that. That okay, before you are attending a GP, provide a result to show that that creates a job for this testing. Companies, and people will be ready to do that because actually we talk of women. What vaccine or what medicine will you take that will interfere? I mean, last week a result was published, reports were published with your menstrual cycle. And they tell you that it's nothing, it's normal. I mean, this is a biological system that is functioning and something plays with it. And you come to explain to that person, for instance, that no, it's normal. There's nothing wrong with it. My friend who is a nurse who had a similar problem, he said, look, the dose, they can keep their dose. She will never
take it.
No, she's never going to take it, because what nearly happened to her, even including blood clot, she doesn't want to get close to it. She has to be right to hospital. So there are genuine concerns. If I'm a friend of this lady, if I'm a family member, and you telling me that I should go for vaccine, knowing exactly what she has gone through, what you are saying is like pouring water on stone. It will never go, because I've seen firsthand what nearly happened to someone close to me and dear to me. So there's nothing a big brother who doesn't know where I live, who doesn't know what happens to me, who doesn't know what I eat. All they know is that they pass policies and they expect me to function within that policy environment, whether alive or dead. They don't know me by my name. They only know me by my number. They only know me by a number. I'm a number.
Yeah, NHS number. This one, their number.
They don't know me by my name. Yeah. They might know me by my passport number. They might know me by my ID number. They might know me by bank account number. But they don't know me by my name. When you call even internet service provider, the first thing they want to ask you account number.
Account number.
You give them your name. They say names are secondary for them. Numbers. So when it comes to a point where the authorities now want to say we are imposing this on you, people become skeptical. People then begin to ask questions. Why are you doing this? And see, what has also not helped with this vaccine, look at the lockdown, the kind of laws. Look at London here. During the lockdown period, look at what they did to London roads. Look at what they did to London roads. They changed the face of London road, implemented basically crazy. Actually, if I need to take a train, for instance, Saturday I went to Edmonton. From Clapham to Edmonton, if I'm driving any car less than even 1.8, 1.6, 1.9, I could go for petrol less than £10 and back. Right? To take a train over there, up and down, is over £10.
Wow.
Oh yes, because you go through central London. You go through central, it's over £10. And you ask, what's the point? What is the point?
I see.
Are you get me? You take buses, Archie, they are not. Yesterday I missed 3 buses. Why? Because the time they gave on the app, you get there, either the bus is gone. The other one had to stand there. They told me, oh, the bus is coming in 5 minutes. It came 20 minutes. I said, I can't do it. I just said myself, I can't do it. I got to Peckham, I wanted to take a bus 37, it was displayed, it's coming 5 minutes. Within a twinkle of an eye, it's changed to 22 minutes. I was like,
so you want to be nice to the environment to see now?
No,
it's no
I've done the experiment, it doesn't work and it will not help. And I'm going back to my car. No, honestly, I wouldn't advise anyone who wants to go about if they are mindful of that, to go about this experiment. No. Wednesday, I entered the train over here. I got to New Cross Road. The New Cross Gate. The train said you not go again because the signal problems are going to East Linton Hybrid. How do you manage that? Now, what is happening in the US and they say, last 2 weeks, last 2 weeks or so, the Supreme Court shut down a motion by the proposal by Biden and his government that mandatory this in Supreme Court. Shut it down. So that now they've reversed that officially. Now Canada still wants to push ahead, and every protest you've seen is about people who think that no, yes, you have never, or medically, doctors are not allowed to even administer to you paracetamol without your consent. They cannot do that. That is why even at the point of death, if you look at Jehovah's Witness and other things, they do not administer, because every single individual must consent. That is why even if it's a child, your family member or someone must consent to that. Here is the case, you are actually administering something that you have admitted, placed with an immune system. You admitted there are records that governments have admitted that they know this plays with our immune system, which is playing with our natural biological system. Never has any vaccine play with our immune system like that. And then you tell us that compulsory, we must take it. Actually, if I haven't had it, I will not have it. And
he's had it already.
It's a matter of choice. I wouldn't want, because I've had it, someone should be forced. If someone has had it, I should be forced. No, that is a no.
Okay, listeners, Star Radio UK, 10 minutes to the top of the hour at a time. Well, looking at some other stories making the rounds. Going straight to Portugal, where the Portugal's Socialist Party has won in an unexpected majority. Let me bring you a bit of background to that story. Portugal's ruling Socialist Party has won an unexpected outright majority in Sunday's snap general election for only the second time in its history. The election was called when Prime Minister Antonio Costa failed to pass a budget after losing the support of two smaller parties. Now, Mr. Costa said, now Portugal needed stability to ensure economic recovery. Now, far-right party Chega also increased its support and will be the third largest party in parliament. The result comes as a surprise after polls suggested the Socialist Party had lost most of its advantage in the run-up to the vote. In his victory speech, the Prime Minister promised he will govern for everyone. So another snap election that has, given the ruling party a majority, overwhelming one.
Which is good. If there's a dispute, go to the people and let the people make that their mind. And that is why when you hear, something like Ghana, where people are saying, because what is happening in Parliament, a coup is likely to happen, and this is coming from a government in power, chief whip, then you begin to ask, where do they understand democracy? Or they only understand electoral dictatorship? Are you get me? This is gone back to, look, we can't pass the budget because there was division in Parliament. Look, if Akufo-Addo lies today, for instance, he should resign and just say, look, constitutionally we're supposed to go, but we cannot govern again. Let's go to the Supreme Court, hand over the seal of governance, and then let's refer to the electorate so that they decide if they will play with the permutation in Parliament. And these are mature democracies, and I congratulate them. The people have spoken. They say, look, we didn't like what was going on in Parliament. This time we wanted your budget passed. And these are places where budget statements are discussed. They are not like, this is
rubber stamp. No. Thoroughly discussed.
So actually, that's what democracy is to be. You look at Lebanon, you look at Italy. Italy, they call for election like water.
And Israel, when they sleep today, my mind is troubling me.
But that is good, because at the end of the day, you are governing for the people. You are not govern. Are we govern for party? That's the difference. We don't govern for people.
No, we are, that's what we do. We govern for party. You know. But so what do you think? What do you think about our system here, where now it's like a cast in stone thing that we have to go every 5 years for election. So you cannot call a snap election. Like you cannot just do that.
Yeah, I think that is going to change in the future because. But no, a prime minister can call it.
Okay, can decide that.
Can decide to change that.
Okay.
Can decide to change, and I do believe that's going to be changed, because what happened was David Cameron brought in to basically hold the coalition together when the Lib Dems went to a partnership with the Conservatives, and they didn't want a situation where today Nick Clegg and others will wake up and hold a gun to their heads, and that is why they managed to pass that. And politicians are finding us to something that we should, because if you look at it, 2017 we had, was it 2015 or 17 we had an election. Then 2019 we had when Theresa May and resigned. So there's a possibility that can be played with.
Okay. Listeners, it is Star Radio UK. Mr. Frank Davis for you. It's now 6 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's take one other international story before we take a break. But don't you go away. There are lots of stories happening across the globe. Now, North Korea. You you can talk about whatever thing that they are doing, how bad they are, and everything, but where credit is due, give them credit. Now, North Korea missile have test has shown photos from space release. So it's talking about exploration. Which they are doing very, very well. The North Korea has released photograph which is said it were taken from its powerful missile launch in 5 years. The unusual picture taken from space shows part of the Korean peninsula and surrounding areas. But you look at that and you ask yourself, the fact that the country, I mean the people, if you look at how impoverished the people are, but government is just, I mean, focusing on that exploration and spending more money in arms and ammunition and stuff like that. How do we enjoy
science is what has helped a lot of countries to develop. If you look at industrial revolution and how Britain and others led the way, there was still poverty, there was still malnutrition at those times. People, even as this time, we still have a good number of people who are still poor, although we would not say desperately poor compared to certain standards and other things. North Korea, scientifically, I think I do not begrudge what they're doing. They are pushing the boundaries that a lot of countries that might be called developing countries, Ghana, Kenya and other things, dare not get close to in terms of science and other things. I mean, the kind of weapons and engineering that they put the display, we cannot do, and we've not come close to it. They've taken a conscious effort that, look, the only way we're going to do is to safeguard our country, to explore, not to depend on people's science, to do what we can do ourselves. If you take China, for instance, China used to depend on international space station and other news that is feeding it. They've now launched their own vehicle onto the orbit, and now they're not going to be second hand receivers of information where you decide to give that information which you and play with the rest so that you can misinform them and misinform their planning process.
To plan well,
because that's what they view science and other things as a tool against a lot of countries. The only bit that I think we do have a problem, and this is, yes, we accuse the West media of propaganda most often, but as someone who has dealt with a lady who lived there, worked there, North Korea, for some time, when we talk of poverty, there's serious levels of poverty. When we talk of people suffering, there's serious. She went there straight to a farm. They work about 15 hours a day non-stop. You only have a bit of lunch and coffee and other. I mean, basically the people are they're working like more a slave this thing. But I congratulate them for they push their their advancement they're making in science. They have to just get a bit of balance right.
Okay, listen, this is Starr Radio UK. 2 minutes to the top of the hour. We're going to take a break. We come back and then we'll go to the African continent. There are a lot of things happening. Mali is explaining why tensions with France are growing. Well, they say we don't want you. Well, is it why? Because they think that the French think that they have to, be courting them and looking at their interests. But what do you think? And the Burkina Faso suspended by regional body over coup as well, making the rounds there. This and a lot more. We're going to be looking at Ghana. The parliament says that, well, you know what? The 1.75 is too much. Now we're bringing it to 1.5. Then the opposition are saying, no way, we're not going to back on that. Well, what is going to happen? Well, some are alluding that there could be a coup d'etat. This is a recipe for coup d'etat. Do you think that is going to happen there as well? I'm not very sure. But, well, we'll be coming back to have a look at all that in a moment. But for now, let's take a quick break. We come back and we'll continue. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Welcome back to the show. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 3 minutes past the top of the hour at the time. The morning show, the Monday edition. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis. I'm Archie. The lines are open now. If you want to join the conversation, feel free to do so. Call us on 0208-133-2257 or 580208-133-2257 or 58. Those of you in US, Canada, the Caribbean area, it's 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can also text or WhatsApp us. It is 07539661744. 07539661744. Our Twitter handle is Star Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Whatever the situation is, get in touch with us. Get in touch with us. Okay, now we're going to Africa. Now, Mali has explained why tensions with France are growing. Now, it's quite France, that has been the colonial master of all these French-speaking countries, and they still wield much power in there.
Yeah.
But Mali's foreign minister says the main reason why tensions are growing with France is that the French believe the country is not acting in their interests. Now, Abdoulaye Diop dismissed French concerns about Mali's alleged use of Russian mercenaries to fight Islamic insurgents. Now, he said Mali and Russia had been strong partners for years. Mr. Diop said France had no right to describe last year's coup as illegitimate, as it had good relationships with the countries with military rulers. Now, hundreds of French troops are based in Mali, advising and supporting local troops. So you look at this story, and the fact that your slave master has been controlling it, jump and he jump. All that you have to say how high. That is you just jump. But suddenly it is like no. We think that they are not, working in our interest, and therefore we want to just then
actually it goes beyond Mali. What is happening over there, it goes beyond Mali. It has to do with the global geopolitics, positioning of powers, who controls who. It is basically a rehashed form of partitioning of what happened Africa. This is a partition of the world. Now, if you take what is happening in Ukraine, Russia trying to take control, that's exactly what is happening in Mali. NATO and its members who form, the former colonial masters, because they work together. France, make sure you control these people. England, make sure you control these people. Portuguese, make sure you control this world. That is the game they've been playing with us, because they do not want to fight over those territories again. So French and the UK wouldn't want to fight over a territory between Ghana and Togo. They wouldn't want to do it between Burkina Faso and listen. Now, one should then ask, why is it that the French-speaking country are saying this? Coups coming. Mali, a French-speaking country. Burkina Faso, a French-speaking country. We're looking at Guinea-Conakry, a French-speaking country. We are told Ouattara, he is fortifying himself. And exactly what we are saying. We were saying last week, that's why the Mali Prime Minister is saying that, Foreign Minister is saying that French are behaving this way because they feel that they are not,
their interest is not being served.
So the question, which interest?
Bring us all the resources.
That is the first question. What's up for interest? If they can't control you, you are their enemy. The same way that they do to our leaders. If they cannot control you, they send assassins, or they sponsor demonstration, or other things, or they sponsor political opponents against you for people who they can control. And that's exactly what is happening. But Archie, you see, I am worried that West African leaders have not seen what is happening from a distance. That they are acting stupidly, excuse my language, but they are acting stupidly for and on behalf of the colonial masters. Look, ECOWAS jumped to suspend Mali. ECOWAS has jumped that they are suspending Guinea. They've not jumped that they are suspending Burkina Faso. You are a region trying to bring people together. Burkina Faso, for instance, we do have electric supply from Ghana that goes there. Trade relationships, right? Some of those agreements are hinged on the protocols that we do have as neighbors. Now, we've moved ahead to establish what we call Africa Trade Zone. Basically, economic zone where you can now set up a business in any country that you belong to and just comply with some local laws once you're in Africa. Now, you wanted to take the lead and introduce a currency that will enable us transact business across the whole of the sub-region. Now, the French started speaking against it. The French blocs, led by Cote d'Ivoire and Togo, started standing against it. Is it because the Mali and others were ready to go ahead? Why is ECOWAS playing into the hands of colonial masters? Because what they are doing now It is to destabilize any plan of forming a good trade alliance within the sub-region.
Oh wow, you are looking
that
at
is what is
from a
happening.
different perspective altogether.
And our leaders are stupidly playing to their hands because actually, look at the way West Africa is positioned. Look at where the French countries are. Mm-hmm. Look at where Nigeria is. Is it by mistake that Nigeria is not stable? Nigeria is not stable. Surrounded by the French. How many times have we been told that the what they call the Boko Haram has support from Niger?
Yeah.
To a point where the French were seen supporting what do you call it? The French official were seen supporting Boko Haram in the forest.
Yeah.
Is this not ringing a bell to them? Look at how. So now every agreement, and now Ghana is saying, okay, you want to build a train line, a railway line from the coast of Ghana all the way to Burkina Faso. Hello, you are suspending the person. What happens to that business plan? Are we stupid? We want a West Africa gas pipeline all the way from Ghana through Togo, Benin to this thing. Hello, are we being stupid? So actually, West African leaders need to sit back. Yes, a coup has happened. Democracy and survivor. Our survivor, economic. Which one is most important? Which ones? And even the democracy that they claim has been overthrown. I mean, sometimes here Akufo-Addo speak over the water last week when they met the ECOWAS leaders in Germany, and I heard some of the comments that were coming, and I was like, are we serious? Because actually, this is an agenda to destabilize the whole region, to this whole sub-region, so that any plans that you've worked for over the last 20 years, when the region has been so, and one of the key goals that was being achieved was the economic zone. That even political, Kwame has always been saying, if we political cannot unite, why don't we go for economic zone? You are now about achieving, because if you look, they were harmonizing some indicators that once it go growth rates and others, once it get to that point, the echo gets introduced. Now we are setting everything apart. Actually, this is just not cool. These are attempts to destabilize the nation. These are attempts, and you know what? West African leaders better sit up and work with the coup plotters or the coup makers to see how do we return these countries into a path that will safeguard the economic plans and agenda that we do have. Are you getting? But if they're going to go on this authoritarian like Akufo-Addo is doing, thinking that Mali is his Mali are serving him because he's a chairman of the ECOWAS, Burkina Faso are his house boys because they are sovereign state, for Christ's sake.
You know, that's the same thing that they did when they were looking at the African unity,
exactly.
the OAU.
Actually, it is the same template that is being played up. It is the same template that is being played up, and surprisingly, our current leaders who have lived through some witness exactly what happened cannot see that the templates that were used in the 1960s are being used in the 2020s. It's exactly what is being used.
It's quite interesting.
Anytime, I mean, efforts were being made to come bring our economic frontiers together. This happens. Anytime in history. These are not just schools. These are not just schools.
Wow. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, I tell you, you cannot get it from anywhere. 30 minutes past 12. But if you are one who is advocating, like somebody like Kofi Ali Abdul-Yakin, who is always advocating for the united sub-regional body, the ECOWAS, These are the things that guys, you have to be looking at and be warning the leaders that open your eyes and smell the coffee. But what do you think? Well, more coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Now, France says dozens of militants have been killed in Burkina Faso in operation involving local and French troops. The assaults were conducted as part of the French-led Operation Barkhane against Islamic group in the Sahel region of Africa before the 23rd January coup. The French military said it took part in 4 operations alongside Burkina Faso troops between the 16th and the 23rd. He said the objective of these assaults using fighter jets, attack helicopters, and drones was to locate terrorist groups in their zones of refuge along the northern border with Mali. So, why have they been that dormant? And all of a sudden, because of the coup, now they decided, okay, now we need to go fight the.
No. What they are saying, no, they've been fighting. What they are saying, the one of the accusations they leveled against the government, why they toppled it, was that government was not doing enough to fight the insurgents. And the French are now trying to justify the opposition to say that no, we were doing enough, or we were working with the Burkinabés to fight the insurgents. Therefore, the position of what do you call it?
Oh, the credit that they are giving for the coup,
the reasons that they are giving for the coup are unattainable. Actually, see, the French. My position has always been the same when it comes to these colonial masters and everything. Actually, they have permanent interest, and that permanent interest is to make you poor, make you to depend on them, to basically keep you as a worker. I mean, it's a different form of slavery. That instead of taking you to sugarcane farms somewhere in the Caribbean, selling you, auctioning you, and you know what, actually. Whereas we celebrate 1st of what do you call it? 1st of January as a new year. 1st of January, a lot of slave people who still look back at our history cry on that day. Because those were that was the day auction takes place more. That was the day people were being auctioned. Are you get me? From history, because of what they did to our people and what they continue to do today, the economic structure they put in place, to a point where even after slavery, the French especially have colonized economically. They still control the economic heartbeat of those countries. Actually, I don't trust them. So whatever the French are saying now, for me, I look at it, I read it, I hear it, and I question it. Always I want to find out why are they doing it, because the French are not doing it for your interest. They are never doing it for the interest of the Burkinabés. Look, I was reading a report the other time. We know Mali area have gold, right? Even Burkina Faso. That's why you hear Upper East, Upper West. Now you see gold. A lot of people. So all those areas, they do have gold. How come French that is having a French that doesn't have gold has one of the largest stock of gold in the world?
Do you want to talk about that?
Actually, you look again at Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, another French-speaking African country, right? We are told the M23, the dreadful rebel group, are still conducting attack on a daily basis. Archie, when there was a bombing incident in Egypt, what happened? They suspended flights to that area where that what they call it, Russia airline came down. What happened? They suspended flights. How come that when we do have troubles, Syria flights were suspended? What do you call it? Libya flights were suspended. Iraq where flights were suspended. Anytime there's a trouble zone, flights are suspended. So the question I then ask is, how come Democratic Republic of Congo,
they've not suspended flights?
We do have flights. All right. We do have troubles that are ongoing, but they've not suspended. We had a call from Empress here. We'll call her back after the program. We do have a trouble in Democratic Republic of Congo. However, private jets especially
continue in and out of the place.
Continue to land in the deep forest, sometimes protected by the rebels, and out. Who controls it? Who controls the airspace? Is it not amazing that a trouble zone where there's always gunfight? Are they not scared that rebels will shoot at them? But they continuously
to land
there and out, building airfields almost every month, because every mining zone comes with another airfield.
Is
it not surprising?
Wow.
So for me, the French. Oh.
Well, as we've said, let the ECOWAS leaders now look at things very closely, because there is more with it than what they might be seeing at the moment. But it's coming away from Starr Radio UK. Now, last Friday, last Friday, there was this warning that came from the Western countries that in Kenya, but at least 9 people have died and several more have been injured. Local media report after a bomb attack in northern Kenya on a public commuter van, locally known as the Matatu. The Matatu was traveling towards Mandera town in the border area, which has been regularly targeted by the militant attacks. Now, pictures from local journalists show mangled wreckage of the minivan that appears to have been blown up after running over an improvised explosive device on the road. No one has taken responsibility for the attack, but Al-Shabaab insurgents have attacked police and civilians in and around Mandera, with several fatalities in recent years. But information that was the attack comes barely a week after several foreign embassies in Kenya, including the US and France, warned its citizens of possible terror attacks in the country. And remember what took the life of the late Professor Awuno. Yeah. So the same thing. They are thinking there's a plot like that there. But what do you do? What do you do? It's care that people have to take care of themselves. But they've killed their own people. About 9 of them dead.
Actually, that's what terror attacks do. But you see, actually, I've always raised questions about some of the terror groups. I do believe that we can do more in this country. If you look at, and even the US is a bit of a different footing. If you look at this country, actually, we have had terrorist attacks in this country, but hardly have we had terrorists using guns to shoot at people.
Yeah,
they have used improvised explosives. They have used cars and other things.
The knives. Yeah.
But hardly do we have. Someone say, because we have a gun control laws and other things. In the US, we've seen a situation where, because you can buy guns, people do have guns, and we've seen terrorists shooting at people and other things. If you look at France too, or the whole of Europe, apart from Norway, where we had that, and even that was not, it was a domestic, there's a Norwegian Islamic thing. Now, so when it comes to this terrorist group, and they are so equipped with weapons, when those weapons are not weapons that are manufactured by the blacksmith next door, then I begin to ask another question. Are these terrorists being sponsored, and by who, and for whose interest? Because if they can continuously, actually, if you have a pump action gun, the bullets are not manufactured in Kotobabi.
No.
The bullets find their way into your country from somewhere. Well, they'll tell you there are a lot of criminals and that's how they make their money. But actually, the scale at which we see it, for me, it beats my imagination that we cannot track. And especially when it comes to those who use sophisticated vehicles, where you can get one vehicle, be able to know the chassis number, because every vehicle has a DNA.
Yeah.
And you know how that vehicle has moved, who was the owner, how they got it, how they finance it, and you can't do that if you really want to do it. Is that not what they do over here?
Yeah.
When they're an issue, they're able to track down the communication, the assets and everything of this thing. So why can't you do it? If all these people say they are helping us fight terrorism, why can't they do it? Are they protecting some terrorists that serves their interest, for them to take control of? It's the same thing that we say.
That's in DRC.
Are they protecting their interest? Actually, for me, I don't know if God will help change my thinking about the West. I live in the West, but the way they've dealt with us and the way they continue to, I see from different angles what people see, and I don't think I trust any of them, honestly.
My friend doesn't trust them, but do you trust them? Now, interestingly, last week or last 2 weeks thereabout, there was this story about guns. Are they talking about number of guns that have gone amiss in Nigeria? I'm talking about 150,000 over a period of, I think, whether 10 years or thereabout. And so I get, like you are saying, I'm not surprised about the fact that we have all these insurgents who are armed, because some people in there are taking those arms and giving it to this individual.
Yeah, and we also know the police, especially the police and the military, also sell arms. And there's a pattern too that is emerging in Africa. The idea of always bootlicking is something that is becoming very, very dangerous and detrimental to our continent. Let me take a classic example. Look, Archie, when you are in this country or we deal with the police, the reason the police are punished when they are found to have lied, to have done things that they are supposed to be protecting the public against, is because once the public trust in the police and the secret forces erodes, you then have the population and citizens taking the laws into their own hands and doing things that they shouldn't do. This Boris Johnson issue that we're seeing is not because Boris Johnson has committed murder, but it's about how the law that they do not want anyone to undermine what the Queen has assented to, which is the law. Now, last 2 weeks on the 20th, we had an explosion that happened at Apieti near Bogoso. Actually, if you look at the accounts that the police have given, they have lied consistently. They lied about what they call escort truck. There was no escort truck. The chief of the village, the eyewitnesses have witnessed that there was no police escort. Secondly, they lied that the police that was escorting the car was with the driver when they went to the school to let the children, to tell the children. I think last week we discussed it. That has turned out to be a lie, because the school structure is there, but because of problem there's no school that is operating in that village. There's no school that is operating, so it couldn't be true that the police went and helped the pupils out. So that also has turned out to be a lie. They told us again that it was a motorbike that collided with the rider of that motorbike is alive. He said no, he was standing at the traffic light when a car from behind him hit him. So the friends rushed him to hospital. He was at the hospital over 30 minutes before they heard of an explosion. So there was no way he could have collided with them. Wow. These officials from a security, the police service in Ghana. The same last week, there was an incident about an armed robbery attack. A military officer, someone in military uniform, they took someone Corolla at the Buipe area. Now the military came out, the military high command came out with a statement to say that, look, this man, we do not know him in Ghana Army. He's not one of us. The uniform might have stolen. He's called Mustafa. Actually, they have forgotten that in this day and age, the 1980s lies cannot and might not be able to stand. Actually, people have been able to pull out pictures of the same guy playing in the regiment band. The guy is military intelligence officer with the Ghana Armed Forces. Wow. His pictures playing, his pictures at the graduation, his pictures with other colleagues at the beginning.
Colleagues would have known him.
All these pictures are now out. Now,
Lie and let's see.
No, they are not talking. But actually, what I'm saying is that if we do have the security forces that are supposed to help us line this way, what else can they do? I wouldn't be surprised if the military high command even order guns and give it out.
Yeah.
2000, the year 2020, we were told the customs service have intercepted tons of guns.
Yeah.
What did they tell us in the end? They said, oh, they were firecrackers. Are you telling me that a custom officer who has been trained, has worked, and these are just not people, national service that are stationed, cannot differentiate between a firecracker and a machine gun and weapon? No, actually, they can't. You are telling me that they do not have.
No, they've not seen some before.
They don't know what a gun, even the weight of a gun with a toy gun, they don't know it. People who are even trained to use guns themselves, they don't know what a gun is, and they mistook a firecracker
to be a gun.
Actually,
well,
we are a sick nation.
Are we sick or we are still doing well? It is on Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, let's go to Ghana, because in the next 14 minutes we should have HRH Linda Pallien joining us. Now, firstly, passing e-levy is a recipe for a coup. Dr. Saad Idrisu. Now, e-levy will heighten hardship of citizenry. The economist says. Now, coup happens because government failed to listen. Now, hardship could trigger revolts. A United States-based economist, Dr. Saad Idrisu, is cautioning the government against its attempt to forcefully impose the e-levy on Ghanaians. According to Dr. Idrisu, the failure of the African government to listen to the concerns of the citizenry is one of the reasons why there are so many coups on the continent. Now, let me add another story to it, and then we will just proceed and discuss it. Now, the e-levy, Amidu, citizen vigilante, says, now Ghana's democracy could be on the line. It's a conflict analysis of how democracies and constitution die. Nana Akufo-Addo and the electronic transfer levy bill 2022 by Martin Amidu, a piece work that is dedication. This article is dedicated to the group captain Richard Fojo, formerly of the Ghana Air Force, for his professional integrity and commitment to the ordinary Ghanaian and the international socialist democratic revolutionary cause for which we became friends and comrades. The Nana government has, in its usual arrogance, impunity and abuse of power, refused to learn any lessons from its unproductive escalatory conflict strategies and tactics. The counter moves by the minority in the parliament that inevitably resulted in the brawl in parliament at the dawn of the 21st of December 2021, when the first deputy speaker, Mr. Joe Weiss, all that story. But looking at that, looking at the fact that the majority in the consultation with the minority, I don't want to call them, the ruling government in consultation with the opposition in parliament, have got to a point where they were saying that, oh, you know what, let's bring it to maybe 1.5. Maybe the opposition, the opposition party will accept it, which looks like no. So where are we heading to now? The other time you were saying that, look, government, some information that intel that you have means that government is in a very desperate situation.
The finance minister himself has confirmed that. Last week he said some of the comments was making that if e-levy is not passed, the economy will collapse. So all he's saying that if we don't get 7 billion, the economy will collapse. That's exactly what he's saying, because that is what he's projected to. Actually, I've said it over here that the government is not looking to raise that 7 billion as cash for anything. They want to use that agreement from parliament that e-levy has passed to borrow money, and they're looking at borrow up to 70 billion Ghana cedi, which is equivalent to almost 10 billion United States dollars. Actually, if you look at Obuasi Goldfields alone, 2021 last year, Obuasi Goldfields alone paid to the coffers of the country an amount of $320 million as basically tax. Now we're looking at Ghana. We're looking at Anglo Gold, Obuasi, Anglo Gold Takwa, Newmont, Ahafo, Newmont Achim, Gold Star, Bogosu, Gold Star, Wasa. These are huge mining companies. So revenue is coming. We're talking about oil and other things. Now, why do you need 77 billion? That if you don't get it, the economy will collapse. And even that 7 billion, the calculation they've made is false, because it's not going away. They are anticipating that there will be a 24% decrease in those who will participate on use the Momo when that happens. The figures they are giving us are even all right, because cumulatively, when I give you 10 Ghana and you also transfer 25 to this, they are looking at those cumulative days and the total amount, and that is how they've made their calculation.
Oh, so if I decide not to transfer, you send it to me, and I decide not to transfer, you can't charge me anything then.
Now the government has got to a desperate position where lies are now being told on a daily basis. At the town hall meeting last week, Ursula Usu was saying that UK has instituted a digital tax and they are charging up to about 10%.
Yeah.
Archie,
where?
That is false, because the UK instituted a digital tax, but the tax they instituted was to target the corporate bodies. So Amazon, those are, so there was a time when if I buy a domain name, you don't see VAT coming to it. Now when you buy a domain name, even if it's a name that you are using, they collect 20% because what? The money that is being used to buy it is coming from a country that taxes service, that VAT service charge.
Okay.
So Enom will collect all that on behalf of the UK government. Facebook, all the adverts that we pay for, how do they make their payment? That's how digital tax came in. That corporations that benefits from revenues from countries like UK and other things will have to pay digital tax to the UK. And even the UK one, actually, you start paying that digital tax when the revenue that it generates from that country is more than 25 million.
There's a threshold.
25 million. Right? Anything below 25 million, you even don't pay. But the government in Ghana is lying that, look, the UK charges digital tax on this, which is a complete lie. And even it charges it on corporation, that's about 2%. 2% of their profit that is coming from not even the total profit. So that is even a lie. Actually, when you come to the principle of that tax, one fundamental principle in any tax, and I think when Friday, when we have our taxman, he might be able to explain this better. There's a basic fundamental principle in tax administration. Tax must be fair to citizens. Tax must be fair to all. And the principles that you use in administration, that it must be fair.
Of course.
Tax must be fair.
Of course.
We are not saying it has to be the same amount, but the principle behind it must be fair. Archie, why should I go to a counter to take money, and the two of us go to buy kenke, and I decide that I want to pay? No, let's take a practical example in this country. You are paid a salary. They put £1,000 into our account. We decide that you take your money and pay Oyster card. Anytime we're taking a bus or you want to buy fuel, you pay cash. And I decide to use
your card,
my bank card. Why should government charge me, or why should it cost me more to move from here to Edmonton when the two of us are on the same train, just because I have used my card to pay? It is not that the person issuing the card
is charging me.
No. So that principle that the government had decided that for using a service that you are being charged for by the provider, because I can decide not to use a card. If I decide to go for a current account, that offer me a card and they decide to charge me £5 a month, I've opted for it. There's nothing like compulsory about it. But if you're going to charge because of a government, because I've decided to find a convenient way of doing my things, it is not being fair. It doesn't make sense. So the principle governing the e-levy itself, it's wrong. And again, there's something accountant Bradan will be able to tell you more about. Double taxation is something that it is a no in every accounting thing. Actually, you give me $1,000 as my salary. The $1,000 goes to my Frangais bank. Now you decide, okay, you want to give Charlotte, or probably you are in town, you want to give Charlotte some money, spending money. You are transferring $200 to Charlotte. They found that you are transferring money to Charlotte, you are being charged by the service provider. That is fine because you are using their platform. But government is telling you that for moving that money from your own account into your wife's account, you will be charged. Then you are being charged. That money has not generated anything. It has not worked. You are charged income tax, which you have already paid. But we are being told that for the account, unless you don't want to move the money, then the money must sit in your account. You are being charged for the money living. Okay, Charlotte gets the money, goes to the market. Say, okay, tomatoes, I want to buy. Decide to pay with card. They are being charged for. So that same money they are being charged. That actually, this is a policy designed to use the long arm of government to pickpocket people. This is daylight pickpocketing. It's serious. The principle of it is wrong. What the government should be doing, I understand that yes, now a lot of people are transacting business online and go after them. UK have done the same. Other countries have done the same. Gone for. A lot of people do advert on Facebook. A lot of people buy things from Amazon these days. A lot of us conduct business online. Go after those corporate bodies. Now, MTN and others are making money from those platforms that are using infrastructure that government paid for. Right? You are already charging them. So you see what government is doing? Government is charging them corporate tax on those money. So my money that I'm paying 1% to transfer, government again charges that and come for tax again on the money that they've already charged. Does it make sense? Double jeopardy. Actually, they are thieves. And then the most annoying thing is that when you tell them that we should count down expenditure, of what economic value do we derive from a Land Cruiser bought at $200,000 that is dedicated to carrying Akufo-Addo's chair going around the country anytime he's moving? Of what economic value is that to us?
Health wise, so that his back doesn't hurt. Maybe I don't know whether his bum hurts, and none of that happens. And then
can't they put it in the Land Cruiser he is in?
You don't know. Maybe there are arms in it.
But there's arms. What economic value do we derive from a 40 to 50 car convoy? Akufo-Addo moving like a sultan or Saudi Arabian queen. You come to borrow in a private jet when the person you are going to borrow from ride a bicycle or take a train, and you want to tell us that you are not cutting expenditure, but we should pay more. You're gonna demonstrate to me that there's a need to pay more.
We are all in it together.
If we can let 12.8 billion goes into the hands of government appointees to what they call procurement fraud. That is 1 year.
And you said we should bring
an equivalent of 34 million CDs a day. That is why they defrauded the country. Government appointees in 2000 we lost 12.8 billion.
So that's something that they want.
It's a peanut.
Let's look because Linda will be joining us pretty soon. But do you think that can bring about a coup d'etat and truncate the
what's the doctor is saying over there? Archie, we saw what happened in Egypt. We saw what happened in Tunisia. We saw what happened in Sudan. We saw what happened in what they call it Zimbabwe. We saw what has happened in Mali. We saw what has happened, and it all is linked to agitation from the citizens. Even the Burkina Faso one that people might think, oh, their reasons might not be as solid, is because the citizens were complaining about terrorist attacks,
insecurity.
So if it gets to a point when citizens can no more take it, actually. One cannot predict, but if you think on strengthening the arms of the state, the security to twist them, here is a case where the state security again, their credibilities are all-time low because of the consistent lies that they've made. And in any case, every government has strengthened the arms of security, but we've seen that internally it's not everyone because they have families.
Of course, they all belong to families.
They have families.
Yeah.
They have families. No one can predict. But actually, we don't know what is going to happen. I don't know what is going to happen. But if we're going to have a situation where the whole of MPP MPs will think that this tax element or what they are e-levy is the best thing that has happened, and when I hear the arguments that are being making, it doesn't make sense. Actually, citizens are watching, and they are demanding answers. So far, government has been flip-flopping. They've been giving one answer to the other. You talk of, they say what e-levy will be what they will use to do youth,
create more jobs.
They say youth start. Were we not told that government has put in place they call youth unemployment program? Were we not told that there was a fund? John Kuma, who is now the deputy finance minister, was he not heading an organization where they were supposed to give money to people to go into entrepreneurship? Were we not told that all those monies, it was his constituents that he registered and gave those money? Government auditor report even found him to have embezzled money, used those money, and he's now the deputy minister telling us that we should pay more e-levy.
So that he can embezzle some more.
Archie. Bullets.
Oh my goodness. Listeners, what do you think about all that we've discussed? Let me say good afternoon to Mr. Olaibi Koike, and he said, let me bring you some good news. He said, tomorrow, yes, Niger updates from Nigeria is going to be taking place, and then Niger Voices will be continuing on Wednesdays as well. We've now lined everything up and it's ready to fire on all cylinders. So make sure tomorrow your dads are still logged on Nigeria. We're bringing you more from there as well. But what percentage? Let me quickly come to Frank for his closing remarks, and whilst we wait for Linda. Now, what percentage do you think they should come to?
The question of percentage does not arise. The principle is wrong.
It's wrong.
The principle itself is wrong. For me, the position I stand, the principle is wrong. Even if it is 0.1%, the principle that underlines e-levy is totally wrong.
Okay.
It's totally wrong.
Okay.
Actually, we already do have communication tax. That was passed in 2006. At the rate of 6%. And it has been increased to about 9%. So there's already a levy on communication and other electronic. The principle of e-levy is strong. So for me, personally, the percentage is non-starter. Go back. You cannot be taxing transactions. You cannot be doing that. It doesn't make sense. Is it a gate fee?
That's a good one there.
Is it a gate fee?
Good one there. You enter whether you chopped or not, whether you enjoy yourself or not, you pay.
Look, if I go to yellow house, yellow where we stores I pay to go and get my yellow box and all that. Those stores, I pay to go and take my stuff, right? We do, and that is why the platforms are. Does government charge me when I'm paying them? The government goes to the yellow buses people and charge them Frank has spent money, Archie has spent money.
Yeah.
You have made this profit, give us some.
Yeah.
That should be the principle.
Well, listeners, we have to leave it there. We're going to be continuing with that conversation tomorrow, God willing. Well, as we have got the HRH also joining in. But let me say, Frank, thank you very much for that wonderful contribution to the program today. Wherever you are, don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 10 minutes to the top of the hour, where I can safely say good afternoon and welcome to HRH Linda Pallien. Linda, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing very, very well. And you?
Yes, thank you.
Great. How was your weekend?
Busy.
Okay.
Busy but good.
Okay, that's good. We love to hear that when it's busy and it's good, then it's good. Very, very good. Okay. Yeah, so what are we looking at today?
Today we're looking at some transferable skills from volunteering and other unpaid activities, extracurricular activities.
Okay. Well, going to work for somebody for free, but well, using transferable skills. How would I help you? Well, if you are listening to us, you're a parent, please make sure you continue to listen to us, because it will help you a great deal. If your words are there, get them around. Let them listen to it. It helps a great deal. Okay, some transferable skills used in what? In okay, I'll just leave it for Linda to continue. Over to you, Linda.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
I'm getting a bit of feedback, but if you can hear me, that's fine. So we're looking at transferable skills that you can use for the volunteer work, or maybe extracurricular activities. You do church activities, club and society activities, and this is particularly useful when you're given evidence of your activities in an interview, or when you're writing your personal statement or writing a proposal, why you've undertaken some of these activities and what you've learned from it. And it's really important because a lot of people forget to put this in their CVs or in their cover letters, and they just think, oh, I don't have any experience. Whereas recruiters are looking for evidence of you having used a specific skill. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in an employment setting. So how can you spin your extracurricular activities to give you evidence that you've done or you have the skills that are required? So the first thing that volunteering teaches you is that happiness is not all about money. And again, it's a great way to start a conversation about how dedicated you are to the job that you're applying for or the work that you do. You know, because if you've done it as a volunteer, it means that you're really passionate about it and that it's a greater cause for you rather than just financially motivated. The second point about this is that you get to do something you believe in. And again, everyone likes somebody with values. And when you're looking for a job, or when you're looking to work with someone or even hire someone, you're looking for a values match, someone that believes in the same things that you do, that will go to the same lengths you will go to make sure that whatever the goal is achieved. So being able to demonstrate a values match by saying, look, I'm really interested in fashion, and I've volunteered at Fashion Week, or I've done a charity show, or whatever it is, will really go a long way to help you demonstrate your passion in said industry. The third reason is that you learn to put yourself in other people's shoes. When you volunteer, especially in certain fields like homelessness, you get to understand and build up your empathy. I know people that have volunteered for domestic abuse or rape victims or whatever it is, and you just gain a whole understanding of what people go through, and you're able to then do your job better. So again, those are those are skills that you can demonstrate, or that you've been able to get from maybe even just being a buddy or a peer mentor to somebody in your office, to somebody in your church environment, to somebody in your club environment, whatever it is. But being a buddy or mentor to them, again, you can use that as evidence of you gaining empathy skills, being able to teach, being able to mentor someone, being able to help someone else achieve their goals, put yourself in somebody else's shoes, all of that stuff. The fourth point is that you also get a sense of fulfillment that doesn't come from traditionally big things, fulfillment in the simple things of having spoken to somebody who otherwise wouldn't have anybody to speak to. If you're volunteering with the elderly or volunteering with orphans, for example. So, and gaining that perspective of fulfillment comes from the simplest things. Again, that's something that an employer would really appreciate, that you can demonstrate, or you've had that experience. And then you get to try out a career as well. When you volunteer, you get to see if it's a good fit for you, and then you can apply to it or decide to work in it full time and get paid for it as well. So it's a great way to test out industries that you might be interested in, whether it's online or in person. And then you understand different work environments. Again, the volunteering space is much different from maybe the business space. Sometimes it's a bit more forgiving, sometimes it's a bit more relaxed, because you're volunteering your time, therefore there's not as many rules. And sometimes it isn't, to be fair, because there's a lot to be done.
Yeah.
I can imagine if you were working in the soup kitchen and it's lunchtime, it wouldn't be relaxed just because you're a volunteer.
Yeah. You have to make sure you continue with it. Don't go anywhere. I mean, yeah. Okay, go on, lady.
So you just get to work in different paces of environment. You get to understand what happens in different environments, what their targets are, what their goals are, and you're able to demonstrate this in an interview process as well. So, for example, if you got an interview question, give me an example where you worked in that high-pressure environment. That would be a good way to be able to demonstrate that, because you work at lunchtime, feeding the homeless, and you had to do everything on time, and if you didn't do this, then everything would be delayed, etc., etc. And again, that's a valid example of you working in a high-pressure environment. You don't need to have worked on Wall Street or to be able to say that you worked in a high-pressure environment. The next one is that you challenge yourself to learn something new from volunteering or from any extracurricular activities. You might find that, for example, the choir is missing a conductor. And Sunday service is coming in, and you have to put yourself in that place and step in and step up and do a different role as well. So again, the challenge of learning something new comes with volunteering as well, and that shouldn't be any squandered. Definitely use that in your interview examples. Having said that as well, another point is that you challenge yourself to unlearn certain things that you believe. So through volunteering, you might find that you're certainly working with people that believe different things to you, or different ideologies, or you may have certain biases because of the way you grew up. And therefore you have to revisit that and unlearn some of these behaviors as well. So again, it's a good personal and professional development venture to do when you're volunteering. And then of course you get to go for change, embrace the change, get out of the box. show your time, add to your resume. There's so many benefits of volunteering or doing extracurricular activities as well. So, when I talk about volunteering, I'm not just talking about volunteering in the traditional sense. If you volunteer, that could be a secondment opportunity as well, where you're trying out a different career and doing your job simultaneously as well. So all of these help with getting to the next level of your career success. And of course, you get to embrace challenges. You get to understand that it's okay to get lost if you try something and you realize you have no idea how an industry works or whatever the challenge is. So again, in a nutshell, there's a lot of transferable skills that can be derived from doing more, volunteering, doing some extracurricular activities, taking up more responsibilities. And if you're able to leverage them the right way, you wouldn't need to do as much training, you don't need to spend as much time as it takes to get to the next level. You can fast track that by simply using your free time wisely.
Wow, listeners, that is HRH Linda Pallien on Career 101, and today we are looking at transferable skills from volunteering, how you can derive transferable skills from doing volunteering or work, extra curriculum activities, blah blah blah. But once you were, putting those points across, one thing that came up was, okay, assuming I'm writing an application, okay, on my CV, and then I put on that, okay, the other time, or a place where I can say that I've led a church choir before. Now, because the employer will not necessarily have any certification to that effect, we'll make it, I can just tell lots of lies like that along the line, and then just give me a bit of credit. But do you think that people should go into volunteering in ventures where they can get some sort of certification of a sort?
I think that's a great point, actually. And again, a lot of people forget to ask for recommendation letters or testimonials.
Okay.
If you've been into a church choir, for example, you can simply ask someone to write that you've done that, or be a testimonial for you.
Yeah.
And also, just to touch on the point about listing it, you always want to list it in a way that explains why you've listed it. So if you said I volunteered at the church choir, it doesn't give you as much kudos as if it wasn't my normal duty, I stepped up to the plate and therefore I gained the skill. It needs to be a well-rounded if you're going to address it at all. But definitely, of course, certifications is good, but then it takes away from the idea of volunteering.
So a testimonial will be better, or what do you call it? A letter of sort will help that way. Okay. Now the other question is, do you think that people should be picky and choosy when it comes to volunteering? Maybe a particular field that I would want to volunteer in, or what do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, Linda, I can't hear you. Hello.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah.
There's that insecurity again.
Okay.
Yes and no. I think yes, because if you're going to give your time is the most precious commodity in the world. That's the only thing you can't get back. Money and everything else you can get back.
Yeah.
So if you're going to volunteer, it makes sense to be intentional about it. If you have a goal and you're trying to achieve it, then of course being intentional and line up these volunteering opportunities that are going to get you closer to the goal is key to do that, so that it's also self-serving as well as you helping others. So that's the yes part. The no part, that you shouldn't be intentional as well, is because you want to open yourself up to opportunities.
Okay.
And if you're waiting for the right opportunity to come, sometimes it never does.
Yeah.
And you never know where one path may lead. So if you're not sure entirely, doing something is better than doing nothing.
Of course.
So sometimes open yourself to opportunities, or go with your gut, or see where it takes you. It's also a good way to embrace surprises and get some spectacular opportunities that you could have done better yourself, if you'd even planned it. So yes, if you have a definite goal, go for it. If not, go for it anyway and see where it leads.
Well, maybe your path will cross with somebody who has got a good opportunity that can come your way. Why not? That's a good advice there. All right, then, listeners, Starr Radio UK, HRH Linda Pallien on Career 101. Linda, can you run up the conversation that we've had, and then we can put the contact details and we can talk about my books?
Fantastic. So, we're talking about communicating the benefits of your volunteering or your extracurricular activities in an interview setting, or using those transferable skills to be able to boost up your resume or your skill level to be able to get to the next stage, whether it's a promotion, whether it's a career change, or whatever it is. More evidence to be able to justify a pay rise, etc. So we've spoken about some of the benefits, or how you can spin it so that it's plausible to an employer that you definitely have these skills. So it's definitely worth embracing. We've shared over 14 points on that. So if you want to know more, definitely get in touch. You can find me at lindapallien.com. You can also find me at lindapallien on social media. And if you want to know more about how to use these transferable skills, of course, they're in the books, in the career books that I've written. I talk about that every week. You can find them on Amazon. Just Google career and Linda Pallien, and they should come up. The How to Career book gives you a step-by-step guide to evaluate what career you're into, or maybe even what volunteering opportunity you want to go into, and whether it's the right one for you. The Career Success one will take you through how to progress quickly in whatever opportunity or whatever business or whatever career, whatever job you're doing right now. And of course, the workbook will help you to plan for your future success. So whether it's a pay rise, whether it's a promotion, both, all of the above, or none of the above, and just a checklist of where you are at the moment. Career Workbook is the book for you. These 3 books are available on Amazon, Book Depository, Waterstones online. You can get them Nielsen online, and they're about €20 each, so not very expensive. So definitely get your hands on them, 20 or 15 euros, depending on where you are. So definitely get your hands on them. They're an invaluable resource. There's so many reviews about them, and definitely it's worth your time to be able to double, triple your income.
Of course. Now, if you've been listening to us, most of the conversations or discussions I've had on this platform during this program has been excerpts from the book. Okay, so everything that we said, and she adds some more to it. But please get your hand on these books. Get the 3. It will help you a great deal. You want, maybe you've got some already, or maybe you had a peak where you think that, no, I don't want to go any further. Please, you buy it and give it as a gift to your own kids. Yeah, give it to them. Let them read it. Let them have a look at it. And if you are looking for a job, or you have to write your CV, or whatever you want to do, get that. It will help you a great deal. Linda, let me say thank you very much once again. But can you put your contact details again there, so that those who want to get in touch can do so, please?
My pleasure. So you can contact me directly at hello@lindapallien.com. So for any career-related queries, whether you're changing career, whether you're looking for a job, whether it's a promotion you're going for, whether it's interview practice you want, hello@lindapallien.com. You can contact me also on lindapallien.com, or on social media at Linda Pallien on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook.
Okay. Thank you, lady. Have a wonderful afternoon, and then we catch up later. Right then. Bye-bye. Okay, listeners, this is where we bring the discussions to a close for today, and we bring the program to a close for today as well. But wherever you are, I don't want you to touch the dial. You have to go to our the social media platforms for the broadcast that we've done today. It will all be available there for you. The podcast will be available sometime during the course of the week. Okay, so make sure you continue to go there. It will help you a great deal, as I've said. But this is when we bring the program to a close. Let me say thank you very much to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, Charity Ayivi, UC Savate, to Mr. Frank Davids, Mr. Lami Koiki, Kojo D, HRH Linda Pallien herself, and our able producer, Mr. Francis Gaye, as well. On that note, let me say thank you very much, Archie. But remember, this afternoon, exactly at 5 o'clock, Empress Regina or Queen Regina will be coming your way with the On Point show. And at 10 o'clock, the Conscious Reggae Time will also be coming your way, bringing you new and old and intermediate reggae tunes for you in the afternoon. It makes your day. And this afternoon, a lot of music. I call it the Mixed Grill. Is also going to be coming your way. So on that note, I say thank you very much, and see you all tomorrow, God willing. If you are still alive, I will be telling you more about Sue Gray's report. Was there any gray or different shades of gray in that report? I'll be telling you more about that tomorrow, God willing. So don't you go away. Continue to stay and keep your dials logged on Star Radio UK. We take this song from Lord Kenya, and it says Sika is all money. Enjoy your day. Bye bye for now. First,